afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, may we know you, sir?
My name is Chief Madwabuchi, KSN.
Sir, we are aware that you are the National Director for International Passport in the Biafran government. And we are also aware that the Biafran government are in engagement with some countries, diplomatic engagement with some countries. How can you verify the authenticity of this Biafran passport? Can we be able to use it?
Yes, I am the Director of Biafran International Passport. The answer to that is in affirmative. I am the Director of Biafran International Passport. And when it comes to the question of if we are in negotiation or in bilateral talks with some nations, yes, we are in bilateral talks with some nations. As you are aware, our leader has just addressed, the world through UNBO. And should I say, begin by saying, sometime last year, the Biafrans, we are admitted into the UNBO, the Unrepresented People's Organization, which is an arm of the United Nations.
Yes.
So, we are admitted sometime last year as the 46th member of the UNBO. And then just about, should I say, a few weeks ago, to be precise, on the 12th of June, and then 15th to 16th of June, our leader, Dr. Raf Asrike, addressed the world peace based on what is happening in Biafran land, alerting the whole world about the carnage, about the discrimination, about the killing, about the blood, fat, and spill in this country. And he summarized by saying that the best thing that the United Nations should do is to grant Biafra independence. And if you ask me, that issue cannot be overemphasized. If we follow a United Nations law, Biafra have fought a war in the past over this issue. And sometimes, or should I say, it is assumed that after about, say, 20 years or thereabout, that you fight a war, if the issue that resulted into that war persists, those people should be allowed to go. What is happening to the Biafrans cannot be overemphasized. It is there in the social media. The world knows, America knows, Britain knows, UN knows. It is not something you just call this person to come and say or do. We know of Boko Haram, we know of Islam, we know of ISIS, we know of bandits, then we know of the headsmen. We also know that the government of Nigeria is sponsoring the headers to use them to grab the land of the indigenous people of Nigeria. And if I may say, I happen to have attended school in the early 70s. I was taught in the history of West Africa that Ottoman Danfodio came to Nigeria in 1804. In 1804, he fought all the way from Medina, but they are the one now claiming that God gave them Nigeria, that Nigeria is their birthright. And the government in power today is using, or should I say the Fulanis are using the government in power, to displace all indigenous people to now grab their land. So when you talk about negotiation, yes, Biafra has been in the agitation, has been in the business of alerting the world and telling all other world bodies and the international community that they are no longer interested in being part of Nigeria due to the situations on the ground.
Okay, thank you for that one. You made mention of Fulani displacing people from the ancestral land. Can you expand it?
Yes, let me be emphatic. Just after the war in 1970, the herders bring their cows and they walk on the roads and pass. They don't enter farms. But today, the herders go into your farm. If you dare open your mouth, they will kill you. We know of how many people that have been, some local government in Benue State, some local government in Taraba State, some local government in Kaduna State that have been totally displaced, chased away from their houses, and the haters with their families are occupying those places. As I'm talking to you, the federal government of Nigeria is spending money, taking care of displaced people, but they are not making effort to return those people to their houses, to return those people to their ancestral homes. They prefer to put them in displaced people's camp, IDP camp, but not making any effort. That is a kind of a trickish way of now regarding these people as displaced people and then leaving the Fulani herders to occupy their villages. Let me say something that happened somewhere in Bende local government. To be precise, a town called Ofuitem. A Fulani man came there and resided in that place and had a son and named the son Ofuitem. The name of that town is Ofuitem, and he named his son Ofuitem. Everybody kept quiet. Do you realize that in 100 years' time, in 200 years' time, when everybody died, they will be claiming ownership? And he will authoritatively ask you, the name of this town is Ofuitem. The name of this son, this man is Ofuitem. How do you prove that he is not the ancestor? This is what is happening. So the haters are on land grabbing, being sponsored and aided by the present government in power.
Wonderful. Okay. What can you say about the international passports you are in charge of? When we Biafran start using our international passport, it's a question that most of the Biafrans have been asking. They have been asking us in the media, they have been asking people, when will we start using our international passport? When will we be able to travel with it? Because a lot of people are in diaspora. As a matter of fact, the Nigerian diaspora indigenous are Igbo people from Igbo ancestors. So they are in need of the international passport. When will we be able to use it to travel?
You see, the issue of using Biafran international passport, it is already in use.
Okay.
Many people are using the Biafran international passport. Many people are using it. It is just for those who don't know, if you don't travel. So, how would you know how passport is being used? It is when you travel, then you apply for international passport. When it is issued to you, then you take it to the country where you want to, their embassy. They issue you visa. Do you understand? Good. So, like as I said, in so many countries, Biafran passport is in use.
Please, can you mention any of the countries, sir?
There is no country where Biafran passport is not being in use. If you go to the United States, it's in use. If you go to Germany, it's in use. If you do go to France, it's in use. There are too many things I am not supposed to say here. But like as I told you, those who are using it know that they are using it. I am in charge. And people apply for it, and we issue it. So if they apply for it, and we issue it. So if they are not in use, why are they applying for it?
Okay. Where can Biafrans apply for this international passport?
Okay, presently, the Biafran seat of power is where you can apply for Biafran passport now and get it. Presently. But in due course, when we are eventually granted full autonomy, then the consulate, department will be open. Our embassies will at the same time be open. And then, but presently, you will apply at the Biafran seat of power. Area H. That is where you can get the passport for now. Or secondly, you go through the Masop outlets or BIM Masop outlets.
Okay. Finally, you are one of the oldest member in PM Maso, and also one of the governing body in the Biafran internal government. What can you say about Chief of Azuke's move to unite every pro-Biafran into one body?
You see, Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike must be commended. To be very frank, it is not easy. As a father, there is no father that will stay at home and be happy when he sees his children in disarray, see his children quarreling, see his children fighting, see his children not doing fine. No father will be happy. Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike took over from our father, Jim. We used to call him Nai. In Igbo language, we call him Nai. He is our father. And good enough, Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike, after having studied in India the principles of non-violence, he also came back to understudy the father of Biafra, whom people sarcastically call the warlord. Sarcastically, they call him the warlord. But he couldn't have done any better. He couldn't have done any better. What he did for his people is only God could have done to defend his people. When his people were at the verge of being annihilated, he stood up to the responsibility. That is the same thing Chief Dr. Raf is doing. The difference between Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike was that Ojukwu was confronted with physical and ammunition war. Then Wazirike is confronted with a kind of political and disorganization, bad blood and so many things, both from within and from outside. For instance, so many things that is happening here is being sponsored by the government of Nigeria to create chaos. They are doing it to create chaos so that we will start quarreling amongst ourselves. And that will give them impetus to now move in the military, pretending to be keeping peace, pretending to be making peace, and use that opportunity to destabilize our peace. Then, Chief Dr. Raf doesn't want that kind of a thing. So many times people will call him a coward. The non-violent, they will call him a coward. But let me tell you, what a man sees lying down under the bed, the children may not be able to sight it even when they climb the tallest in the tree. So in my opinion, what Chief Dr. Raf is doing is the best any father can do. Not minding some of the foolishness, not minding some of the exuberance, not minding some of the oversteppings of the children. His target is to ensure that his house is at peace. Because at the end, it is his house that will scatter. So for him to gather all of them, not minding who is offending or who is right, I think that is the best. I commend him for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chief Madabuchi KSN. Chief Madabuchi KSN is the National Director for International Passport. Thank you very much for coming to our program.
Thank you very much.